Evening, boys.
Evening, Sally.
Welcome to The Chatting, your local pubcast. I'm Rob.
I'm Kirk.
I'm Mark.
And I'm the other Mark. 3 pints, Sally. And what are you having?
I'll have a pina colada.
Cheers. I'll fetch him over.
Evening, boys.
Evening, Rob.
Evening, Rob.
How are you all doing?
All good.
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad. I've had my haircut.
Oh, yeah, looking
like
very
it?
smart.
Really?
Yeah, looking very smart.
Fresh.
Looking very smart.
Mark, it's all right.
Yeah,
You seem a bit unsure about that, Mark.
Yeah, sorry, don't mind me.
I'm still in two minds whether to shave my beard off or not.
No, I like it. I think it looks good on you.
You think?
It makes you look a bit old, but that's...
Old or older? I think it makes you look at
Both.
You definitely look more mature with it, but it's the grey in it. But I think it suits you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
It suits you, just makes you look old.
Mark, you definitely need to get your hair cut. In
What?
fact, do you know what? Do you bick your head or
Yeah.
do you just shave it?
No, I bick it. I bick it as well.
Do you?
Do you bick it?
But I haven't bicked this. This has grown.
And how are you, other Mark?
Right, inverted.
Yes.
I'm all right, thank you.
Me? Oh,
Other one.
Just,
What are you looking at? You look distracted.
I know. I've been looking at something, and I've almost signed up to it, and it's something I'm going to kick off my bucket list.
OnlyFans.
what, to sign up to it, or...
Why are you using the plural? Helen's my fan.
Go on, what were you looking at?
Good comeback, mate.
So
Bucket list, then.
you've heard of these ultra white collar boxing things and that, haven't you?
Yeah.
No?
Well, obviously I could punch my way out of a wet paper bag. However, there's something else that's popped up, and it's really pulling at my strings, and I've fancied having a go just to see what would happen and to take myself out of my comfort zone. It's called ultra comedy.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's this?
So you sign up for charity. I think the idea is you have to sell a table or two, and you go and you get 8 weeks training to do stand-up comedy.
Ah, right, okay.
And then
like an open mic thing?
And it's a charity gig.
Open mic thing?
Sort of. So you sign up, you say, right, I'm going to raise, I don't know, whatever it is, 250, 500 quid, whatever it is for a specific charity. Within that, there'll be their fees, because that's how these companies make the money. They'll teach you how to perform stand-up comedy or give you lessons or whatever, and writing skills and so on. And then you get on stage and you, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 minutes, probably 5 minutes, I would have thought, maybe 10.
Mate, this is incredible.
Yeah.
See, I've never heard of this before in my life, but it is a genius idea.
I have never heard of it. Well, ultimately, because it's a charity event, you've got the support of everyone. You're not up there like they're all going, go on then, what have you got?
Yeah, say something funny. So now I've actually said it.
Make me laugh.
And I'd not said it till this point because I was thinking, I'll just bank it for now. But now I've said it, I'm thinking, I've got to commit. And I think I'm getting closer to committing.
Well, I mean, I can only say from obviously your loving friends that are around you that would never want to see you fall on your face.
You would love to see me fall on my face.
Never. No, seriously.
I would pay to see that.
I would. And I'm going to.
We'll all be there.
No, in all serious, you know, genuinely, I did not know you was even considering it.
I didn't.
Knowing that I've sort of throughout my life, I say ticked off things. They're not on a grand scale, but I've set myself sort of menial. You know, I enjoy DJing, and so to be able to put on my own gigs and perform in front of X number of people, and it's absolutely and every time you do something, it's a little bit bigger than the last time you do it. It's like, yes, you've done it.
How long have you been thinking about doing this for?
Well, actually, not necessarily through this ultra comedy thing. This has really accelerated it. It's been in the back of my head for a number of years that what would it be like just for 5 minutes, pre-armed with some jokes,
Scary.
a bit of material.
That's what it'd be like.
Absolutely. But what's the worst thing that could happen?
I'm with you, mate. I'm
You could get booed off stage. That's worse than that could happen.
Silence.
You'd walk out. Well, exactly. You'd walk out of the dark onto a stage, into a spotlight, loads of eyes glaring at you, and it's on you. Yeah. And that scary adrenaline must just be like, wow.
Oh, mate, I can't imagine there's more. There can't be a better
No.
feeling than... Well, there
Well-
can be a better feeling, but the nerves...
It'd be
oh,
horrendous.
God.
Have you
but
thought about any material then, or any joke? Have you
I've-
thought about it?
I've actually been writing jokes.
Right? Really?
Very in a minor way on my phone for some time, but not lots of them. Just little snippets of things. that
One-liners?
I think that I think are funny.
Well, that's what I was just about to say. And I know this is something that you've kind of just announced, and we're all trying to absorb it in and stuff like that. So I don't expect you to have answer to all these questions, but I do have a lot of questions. I'm not going to throw them all at you now, but you really have caught me off guard, and I have a lot of questions. But
Kirk's head's going to pop off.
He's going to ask them all.
I'm signing him up as well.
it is. Now we all know that I'm not funny.
Yeah.
But,
Get you on stage.
Have you any idea what kind of comedian you'd be? Like, so, like for instance, there's situational comedy, observation comedy, one-liners, puns. You're certainly not going to be a blue comedian.
No, I'm certainly not going to be a one-liner or a pun comedian.
Right.
I think I would like a comedian. What are you talking about?
Are you going to be like Chubby Brown?
I'm having no. Have you seen how slim I am?
Well, Kirk can be your stand-in.
can't
You
fly.
can do the gags.
No, I think mine would be based on life around us, observational, if you like.
Peter Kay type
But
stuff.
I would also like, and I don't think it would happen in that sort of gig with a charity, because I think people would be really wowing for everybody to do well.
Absolutely.
So you wouldn't get a heckler. I'd love the opportunity to, to a heckler and to have a go. And
Well, I can come along and heckle you.
no
No problem at all.
But and then just to see how you could react in that moment. And you know yourself, Mark, when I know it's different. We've done mobile DJing, we've done different sorts of DJs, and you're working on microphones, you're working a crowd, and sometimes you're saying things that are funny, you're warming people up, and you've got to have things in your back pocket in case somebody throws something quite sharp at you. You think, I can back it with something. And I love that idea of being able to do something like that, but with a in an environment where everybody's accepting that that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But so observational, I think, and so that's. Well, in a nutshell, I suppose.
Big question, how much will your tickets be? Can I get them on Ticketmaster?
Yeah, they're on Buy a Go-Go. They'll be £2 each.
Can I get parking as well with that?
But anyway, so
Is that
Sounds
something
good.
that's been on like a bucket list of yours for quite some time? Or
a few years.
yeah?
Yeah, I got to a point where I'm really... And Mark will tell you, and I suppose anybody really that does anything where you put yourselves out into the public when you're doing something, you stand in front of people, and whether you're DJing, whether you're public speaking, whatever it is, you're nervous at every gig.
Yeah.
And then you get to a point where you're becoming less nervous every time you're doing it, and you're thinking, right, how do I up the ante? You move the decks, put yourself in front of them, get a microphone, and now you're not just playing a song.
Get out
and
your comfort
talking
zone,
to-
yeah.
Now you've got to start telling jokes to entertain people. That's different.
And you ain't got music to go, oh, well, just play
You've
this.
nothing to hide behind,
nothing.
so that's that. Yeah.
So this is obviously a relatively new bucket list that's come on the scene. What bucket list items have you got that you've thought I wanted to do that forever? Like,
So-
that's there.
I wouldn't say forever, but something that me and Helen have had for a number of years. As you probably know, we've done camping, and then we on a touring caravan. We're going to get a motorhome, and we want to do Europe, and that's something that we'd love to do. A little bit older. Let's 6 months, and let's see where we go. And I think that would be taking the sights. It'd just be
That's
fantastic.
that's
just
a
travel.
brilliant bucket
Yeah.
list.
Take,
That.
Yeah.
take your comedy on tour.
Obviously, because we've got a caravan, we've sometimes said, would it be easier if you got a motorhome and you've got a bit more freedom in a motorhome, haven't you?
Yeah.
And the thought of Europe, I think for me that is what motorhomes are for. Not for, but you can really get out there, especially in Europe. The vineyards in France and just
It sounds quite romantic, doesn't it? I'm sure it's not when you're getting stuck under a low bridge and you can't go down that way because you're too wide, and there'll be all sorts of things. And I have been told that
It's a normal week for Bob, that.
there are a number of other places in Europe where us Brits aren't necessarily as welcome as we think we are, and certainly motorhomes get targeted in such ways. So maybe the romance sounds better than what the idea will turn into. Who knows? But the idea of thinking, do you know what? Let's go and adventure.
I mean, Mark,
me.
you've got a lot less time than us. What
Won't be having that, Mark.
Hello?
are your where are you at with your bucket list? Have you
Bucket
got
list.
one? Have you got loads?
No, I won't say I've got loads. I've got a few, like. Well, one I would like is, which is probably on a lot of people's bucket list, but well, no, maybe not, is when you're getting on a plane, I'd just love to turn left.
Oh, yeah.
And fly first.
Rob's
trying to work.
What planes are you getting on? You can't turn left on a Ryanair.
Yeah, unless you're flying it. You want to be a pilot?
Wow.
No, I don't want to be a pilot. I
just
just want to fly first class. That's what I'd love to do, because that's like, you know, I mean, you need quite a lot of bit of money to, you know, fly first class.
So just to get this straight, so flying left means what?
Turning left.
No, not flying left. Getting on a plane and turning left. Oh, goodness me, this is hard to explain.
I've got this idea.
Yeah.
You're 30,000 feet in the air, and Mark wants to turn left. And that's his life ambition.
Goodness me. Right,
Can you
let me
not
go back to
turn right?
basics.
Can you turn left? It's been my life's ambition. I'm thinking, what is this guy?
And the pilot's called Clive.
And then,
left turn, Clive.
And then, when you looked at me, I like nodded us to go,
Clyde, isn't it?
I've got you now.
Are you with me, Rob?
I am just waiting for them to shut up. I got to a point where I was like, I've got him now. And then I realised, no, I still haven't got you. I thought you meant get on a plane, get it to turn left, and wherever it ended up, that's where you were going.
Hey up, Dave the pilot. Can you turn left here, mate? I don't mean that.
I'm like, oh, okay.
I'll say it for you, for layman's terms for you then, Rob. I'd like to fly first class on a plane.
Right.
And to do that, you get on a plane, you turn left.
Turn left. I get it.
Generally, yes,
Right.
on a plane. That's what I would like to do, fly first class on a plane.
Oh, brilliant.
Because I don't think I'll ever do it, even if I got a bit of money. I just don't think I'd...
Why wouldn't you do it?
Why wouldn't I do it? Money.
What?
Yeah, but you've
Money.
just said even if you had a bit of money, you don't know whether
Yeah,
you'd do
but
it.
if I had a bit of money, I'm not sure I'd still want to do it, because you know what I'm like with money.
Yeah,
So
tight.
although it's on my bucket list, I still don't know if I want to spend that kind. Wait, how much is it? We're talking about 10 grand one way.
Well, it all depends, doesn't it? I remember when we went to New York, me and Gemma, on the way back, they said, do you want to upgrade? And it were an extra 600 quid for first class. And obviously, just like you, I went, don't be daft. I won't pay 600
You
quid
didn't
for
pay
it.
an extra £600 for first class.
No, that's what I mean.
Idiot. Absolute
That's what I mean.
lunatic.
No, you're all right, thanks.
What?
Yeah.
When you're talking about something that's normally about £10,000 a ticket,
One
and you
way,
get it offered
one
for
way.
600 quid, and you go, no, that could be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Well, obviously, it's
but you've
Mark's
already-
bucket
on my
list, and I turned it down.
Yeah, you've already got a seat that you've paid for.
I mean,
you've got 600 quid in your pocket that you've still got in your pocket for when you land.
But life's about experiences.
In all fairness, though, we were already
first-
flying Virgin, and we got good seats.
Virgin first class.
Yeah,
Oh. And he's
Upper class, I think they call it on Virgin.
Oh yeah, and he's turned it down.
yeah,
Oh dear. Just passed it on to me.
yeah. I should have.
Crazy.
Should have.
I understand that obviously the money and blah blah blah, but there are certain things that if you get an opportunity to do, you should do, because you can always earn more money. Money's always there to be earned. There's no pockets in shrouds.
I'm interested to hear your bucket list.
I am, but I want to hear
Right.
what Mark's second one is.
Oh no, well I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
I can move on to my second one, or if I've got one. But let's hear yours,
Okay.
Rob.
Well, okay. So, and we're saying these are the top two, yeah. I think the first one that's definitely been the one that I wanted to do for the longest time. I think it's probably the most common as well, but it is one that I've wanted to do for a long time, and that's a solo skydive.
Wow.
No, thank you.
Wow.
Hang on, say that again. Solo
I've got the itch to
skydive.
jump.
Skydive.
Oh, okay. You mean jump out of a plane by yourself?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which,
Yeah.
in order to do that, I think you've got to have done so many jumps beforehand.
Tandem
And
dives, yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't done a tandem, so I guess the first thing would be to do a tandem skydive. But the thought of being able to jump out of a plane on my own, untethered.
And you just know for a fact in his head it'll be dum 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 dum.
You know it. Absolutely will. So yeah, that's been on there forever. However, the one that I think
I didn't think that you liked heights.
no, I'm alright with heights.
With that
Yeah, I'm
one,
alright
wasn't
with
it?
that heights. And then the one that I think is probably sits with me more, that I think I would love to be able to try and make this happen one day. I'm not sure if it's possible, but is to hire a private yacht for all my family and friends, so you guys and family, that's big enough to go on for 2 weeks
Can you do that one first before you skydive? Because I prefer that one.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Mark and
Make
Kurt
sure
will
that
agree.
happens before
But yeah,
just in case.
an actual private yacht, purely just for us, all manned up. 2 weeks out somewhere, really. Well, it doesn't.
Mark sailing it, turning left.
Yeah,
I'm going left.
see wherever we go. Yeah, somewhere like maybe around the Greek islands, or even like the Bahamas or somewhere like that.
The Bahamas, yeah.
Look, just
go
2
for that.
weeks, just family, friends on a private yacht. I bet that'd be brilliant.
No escape, nowhere to go.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to escape me, would you?
Never.
All right, don't let the pause happen at that point. Like, no, don't go quiet. Don't go quiet. Kirk.
Yeah, well, do you know what? I tend to have smaller. Well, I suppose what some people would class as smaller. I mean, listening to you guys and some. Well, I suppose they do fit in a little bit. But for instance, I'm a massive F1 fan, but I've never been to an F1 race. Purely for money or logistical reasons.
So the touts selling tickets at ridiculous prices.
Yeah, but also I'm one of them that when I've waited so long to go that when I do go, I want to go properly. So I'd like to get the paddock passes and stuff like that, which then you are talking £10,000, £15,000, which obviously I don't have, So, but I've always wanted to go to an F1 race, especially now my other half's into it as well. That I do think that it'd be great. I will go, and I'll go to, for instance, the British Grand Prix and just do it out, general admission sort of thing. But yeah, so go to a Formula One race.
I've got to be honest, I'd come with you. I'm not into F1, but it's an experience that I'd love to have. You know what I mean?
I also want to do a world cruise.
Yes.
World
again,
cruise.
I think
That'd be nice.
I know, yeah, but I think some people say, "Oh, that'd be nice." But for me, if somebody said to me, "What is on your bucket list?" I'd be like, "Well, no, I really want to do that." I mean, to a point where I've already tried to look at my work pension and work out what I can draw down by the time I'm 67 or whatever it is, and try and figure out, would that be enough for me and my other half to go on a world cruise?
Would you still be alive at that age?
Yeah, would I still be alive? Yeah.
I've done exactly the same though for that.
Yeah.
We've already tried to forecast whether we would be able to afford a world cruise, and bear in mind with no idea how much it'd cost at that point. But yeah, we've done exactly the same.
I mean, I look at it now about 131 days. Literally seeing the world. I enjoy cruising. I've done cruising before. I know that I enjoy it. I know I like it. And just to see the world from that kind of experience.
I mean, I know obviously here 3 of us have been on a cruise. Have you been on a cruise, Mark?
No.
Me?
No.
Other one.
I'm intrigued, and I dare say at some point we might look at it. No. I know you've talked highly of it, Kirk, and they look amazing. And the size of these ships, they're like their own little towns, aren't they?
Oh, they're massive.
The things that that they've got on board. But I suppose for us, obviously, it's a huge deal, isn't it? So I think it's
it can be. It can be.
Yeah, and if you're going to do it, you wouldn't want to go on something and be like, oh yeah, this is great, and then go on and be like, I can only really do this, that, or the other. And you'd want to be fully invested. So.
Yeah, and it would be, they're good things to do with friends, aren't they? I've done it without friends. Actually, do you know what? Me and Gemma have never actually been on a cruise. Just me and Gemma. No. We've always had people with us, obviously.
Always had gate crashers.
People on the wedding cruise. There was 28 of us, I think.
Yeah,
wow. That was
epic. That
was epic.
That was
and
lovely.
obviously, I'll probably never go on a cruise with that many people in one group again. But I highly recommend the cruise. But what I was going to say was, on a world cruise, it must be a different experience because you can't. You couldn't eat like you do when you go on for 2 weeks on a world cruise.
Excuse me.
I'm looking at Kirk
Hi,
here.
I'm Kirk. Have we met?
I know, but they'd literally
Kirk versus cruise.
They were
With no food
There's a
left on the
program in
cruise.
there somewhere, mate.
every cruise I've been on. No word of a lie. I have put on £2 a day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we know. We can,
£2 a
we
day.
can see you.
So if you're on a 120-day cruise,
Yeah, bring it
and
on.
you're putting on £240.
You could just
in
see
that space of time.
The ship
Getting lower in the water.
That's ridiculous.
But yeah, I mean, seeing the world for me, and
Where did it? Where did it? When they flush, does it just?
What, on a cruise ship?
Is it a non-cruise?
You're
Asking
eating all that
asking
food. There's
that
a hell of a
question.
lot of flushing going off in
It
there.
sucks.
Yeah, you don't
When
flush.
you
It sucks
brush
like
the
a plane.
toilet, he goes, and it sucks the.
Yeah, he's asking where does the shit go? That's what Mark's asking.
Well, it goes into a tank. And
They
then
just
that
float
tank,
it out
and then
to
that
sea.
tank is.
Mark.
Well, actually, two sides to this. In some ports, they'll extract it, but I've heard of technology now where they
Extract
they
it?
dry it.
Is it some sort of a medical
They remove
operation?
the water and leave the thing, and it burns for fuel.
Wow.
But not fuel. It doesn't fuel the actual propelling of the cruise ship.
Yeah.
But yeah, they use it
Fuel-
as
fuel
a
for the-
fuel.
fuel for the
Yeah,
ovens.
or just burn it. Yeah.
The thing is with cruises, Mark, you know, again, I've known you a long time, and they do have some massive positives that I think you would absolutely love. That whole visiting so many different places, the fact waking up every morning in a different port, going out and enjoying one country and then going and enjoying another country and stuff like that. I think that bit, I don't think you can get that kind of experience on a different
Not at
time.
all.
And I think you genuinely love that. But then there's the other side of it, of sea days on the boat.
It'd be a bit boring, wouldn't it?
It is a bit. I think it doesn't have to be, but I think it's what you would class as a little bit pompous. It can be, and I think that's the side of it that you'd be like, And I think it's weighing up, whether that's worth spending $4,000 and $5,000 on for two of you to go.
We're to coming around with canapes.
Yeah, canaves.
Mark, you never told us what your second one was.
Oh, my second one. Well, let me say, first of all, you know I'm a big Disney fan.
Yes.
So do you know where I'm going with this?
Are you
perhaps?
I didn't know that.
You
You
seriously
didn't know that Mark was a
Seriously?
huge Disney
Yeah.
fan.
Are you?
Yeah, did you not know? Hang on a minute, what's so funny about that?
No, seriously, did you not know
But
that?
like
Seriously.
princesses and or like,
Oh yeah, because Disney's just princesses.
Well, when I said Disney, obviously theme parks in general, Orlando, Universal
Right, right.
Studios. So on my bucket list, what I would love to do is visit all 6 Disney parks in the world.
That's a good bucket list. That's
Yeah.
a good item. That.
Bearing in mind, I've done 3 of them, and there's 6. So
Is it in a certain time frame or just
no, it's.
in
I
your
mean,
lifetime?
which 3 have you done?
I've done the Florida one, the California one, and the Paris one.
Got you.
And the other 3 is Shanghai, Tokyo, and Hong Kong.
Which is the best one you've been to?
That's hard to say. Probably Paris has got the best Disney castle.
Right.
California's obviously.
Can't believe you're rating Disney castles.
Hang on, I'm not rating Disney cartoons.
Best Disney castle I've ever seen.
California is obviously the best because it's the first one, but it's the smallest, and Florida because it's it's not. It's the biggest one I've seen.
And what's the likelihood of you getting round all these?
Well, I've done 3 of them, so I'm going
And
to go
have
3
you got
more.
plans to go to any
Well, I won't
others?
say plans, but it's on my bucket list.
All right.
So I'd want to see them. I mean, there's Disney Sea, which is at Tokyo. That's like there's 2 parks at Tokyo, and that's supposed to be the best Disney park in the world.
Wow. So all you need to do is fly there first class and tick tick.
That's
Done.
it. Done.
You can
that's
die
my,
a happy
that's my
man.
2 bucket list done. Yeah.
Well, off the top 5 bucket list items
Yeah.
in the world.
Oh, he's been googling.
I've been googling.
Is that Mark? Not Mark.
No,
Googling?
Rob's been
It's
googling.
me. So the top 5, we ticked 2 off the list. So the number 1, which I've tried to, Northern Lights.
Yeah, that don't surprise me.
And I've tried. Obviously, when I used to work on the ships, we went up to North Cape quite a lot. I think I've worked this out not long ago, and I must have been up to North Cape 30-something times, and I've never seen Northern Lights. And then we went last year to Finland to see Santa Claus, and I still didn't see him. Gutted.
Do they actually exist? Or
Oh, yeah.
I
Well,
know
yeah,
they
they
do.
definitely
You can
exist.
actually,
But nobody
believe
ever-
it or not, you can actually see them in the north of England, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
If your land's good.
Well,
We went to Northumberland, I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. And the day we set off back, we got back home and I'd seen on because obviously you Google that tracks everything that you've been doing, and there was like a Northumberland news or whatever article on Google News and showing a guy got up at 4 o'clock that morning that we came back, and he'd seen he took photos, and you could see there's like a building on the seafront. And I don't know what it is. It's not far from Bamburgh Castle. It's like a white building. It looks like it's got eyes on it, and he got a perfect picture of the Northern Lights, and we were like, "Oh, you're joking! It would have been amazing to see that." Just
absolutely,
you know what I mean?
Rob, the Northern Lights. Can you actually pronounce what the real name for it is?
The Aurora Borealis.
Oh, very well done.
Easy for you to say.
And I didn't Google that.
And is on this list is swimming with dolphins on there?
Yes.
Doesn't interest me one little bit.
No.
Number
doesn't me
5,
either.
I've done it. And that was one that I said that's ticked off, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't
swum with
realise you had.
dolphins. And do you know what?
Were
it
that in Blackpool or something like that?
No,
Aquarium?
it was Jamaica. And yeah, it were good. I mean, it was.
that it?
If you would
It
have
were
said,
good.
"Is it on your bucket list?" No.
No.
Was it an excursion that I could do in Jamaica? Yeah. So I did it, and it were great. They were lovely.
I don't understand the dolphin thing.
I
me
don't
neither.
particularly.
What about you, Mark? Would you something you fancy? Or
Not something that I'd jump. I mean, if the opportunity was presented, then
Yeah,
you know,
you'd
I'd
do
say,
it,
why
but-
not?
but if
Helen,
you-
I think, would be all over it. So
Yeah,
I think in
yeah.
that respect,
It's maybe because we're
I'd
men
end
and
up
we're not
doing it,
bothered.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Number 2, which we've covered, skydive. That is
Yeah.
classed as the second most favourite. Third, get a tattoo.
Ooh, done.
Yeah.
You've got a few of them. Have you got a tattoo, Mark?
I have got 4.
4.
Have you got any?
0.
Yeah, me too.
I've got 9.
0.
Because sensible people don't get.
Blank canvas.
Me too.
I mean, the thing is, would you get one?
No, because I'm sensible.
Not with all the Disney
You
castles
see,
on.
I would get
But
one.
what's wrong? I get it, and I'm not just defending it because I've got tattoos or whatever. But it's just the way, like when you're like, no, because I'm sensible. Now I understand that if you were talking to a 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old child that wants a tattoo, and you're going no because you don't know what you. But like you're knocking on a bit now, like do you know what
Hello.
I mean? You're in the latter ages of your life, so it's not.
Thanks.
It's not going to be something that you've got long to regret it for. So what's the what's the issue then? What's the
Well, there is no issue. I just don't not love her tattoos.
so you don't like them? So for instance, if you were to look at my tattoos, for instance, you'd be like, no, I don't like them.
No, it's not it's not the style or the whatever. I just don't like.
No, I mean
idea-
in general. I know
Oh.
my wife's dad. He didn't like tattoos. He just blankly didn't matter what the tattoo were, where it was on anybody's body, how old they were. End of story. It was a tattoo. He didn't like it. End of story. Is that kind of where you sit?
the thing is with the tattoos is probably the how many you have. So like I know you've got tattoos, Kirk, and I can't really see them. And most people I would say that most is probably an overstatement, but a lot of people that have tattoos you can't really see them. That's fine. It's when people have literally got their body covered with them, like they've got a tattoo on the back, on the face, and I'm like, really, what's going off there? So it's not particularly tattoos that I'm against. I just don't like seeing loads of tattoos all over somebody's body.
My problem is the fact that
It looks silly.
my problem is. I thought he's finished
just
on that
throw
note.
it on there, yeah.
Just throw it, and it's absolutely daft that you would want to do it.
Still silly.
For me, I'm too much of a perfectionist. If it looks good on me today, it's got to look good on me in 10 years. I've got to like it in 10 years. I've got to like it the next day. And my mind changes so much. I get a tattoo there, and then I wake up tomorrow and go, it's 10 mil too high that on my arm. And then I want it removed because it's 10 mil too high, and I want it lower. Like, and that level of perfection for me just says, you're better off just not having one, mate. Or get a stick-on one.
Does everyone see what I'm dealing with?
Stick
Yeah.
on one.
You know what I mean? So I just think, not bother. Number 4 on the list,
Yeah.
go on a cruise.
Oh yeah.
So
Tick.
actually, not as daft as you first think. But then what about these ones then? So there's a website called bucketlist.net, and these have got you can go on there and you can literally create your bucket list. So it's all documented and whatnot. And the crazy they have a section that's called the crazy ideas. So one of them is go to the airport, pick a random flight, and go.
You see, I'd absolutely do that.
And that's
I
exactly
like that.
Yeah.
In fact, what I would like to do is for somebody else
to pick it
the
for you.
flag.
Yeah. And then you can end up
Yeah.
going somewhere you'd never thought of going, get there and think, this is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it breaks it down.
Because the problem with that is you go to airport, and bearing in mind there's generally loads of destinations, you go, no, I don't want to go there, I don't want to go there. So then you end up picking where you want to go.
Well, actually-
so you want somebody else to pick it for you. So I agree with
It
you, Kirk.
stipulates quite a few things where you write down an envelope. If any monitors, you pick the middle monitor and you pick the fifth line down,
Right.
and you write it
So
all
it is
down before you
so
go.
it does become
so you
random.
walk
Oh,
in,
okay.
you open it up, and you go right where and that's where you're going, and you go and you buy
Belfast.
the
And
ticket.
it says delayed 5
Liverpool.
hours, and you go, oh, I'm delayed for 5 hours.
No, but I would absolutely do that. I would
Yeah.
absolutely 100% do that.
I like it. I think that's a great idea.
Maybe that's what we should do.
We should do that.
Yeah.
You still owe us a stag do.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of do.
Yeah,
You
we
still
do.
owe
Yeah,
us
you
a
do.
a
While
stag
you
do.
did yours.
While you've still got time.
Well, do you want to go? Do you fancy going to one of these Disney parks? We've got Hong Kong.
Yeah.
I've got
Yeah,
Shanghai.
I've done the random thing, guys, and I've whittled it all down, and it's going to Disney. Oh, right.
See,
okay.
Mark don't want to come. He's
No,
rolling
no,
his
Mark
eyes.
will end up at Lightwater Valley.
Whoa. Mark loves Disney.
Does he?
Not necessarily the brand as such, but
Does he?
the Disney park.
I've only been to one,
Oh,
2 or 3 times.
Is that, yeah, one. Which one was that?
Paris.
Oh,
But,
okay.
Yeah. Oh.
but you loved it, didn't you?
Absolutely loved
even
it.
more than what you thought you would.
Yeah.
Would.
Absolutely.
You see? I've
Here's one I
converted.
resonate with. Quit your job and start something of your own.
There
That
you
would
go.
take. I mean, it's what we've talked about before, haven't we? And I've said I've obviously got a job and thought about doing something that I would set up my own business and stuff. But it's just daunting, that, isn't it? As much as it's like the idea of it, you go, I'd
It's
love
when you
to
go
do
to the
that.
swimming baths and you let go of the side for the first time, and it's like, right, this is it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Sink or swim.
Of course.
Yeah.
But what I would say, Rob, is anybody serious about an idea and passionate about an idea, especially moving away from something safe and secure, it's normal to feel that. And if you don't feel that, then there's a problem, because you have to have that element of drive to make whatever you're doing a success.
Yeah.
You know, if it doesn't matter whether something succeeds or fails, then there's no driving force behind it.
No.
You know, you sometimes need that fear, and you need that ability of something, you know, almost like whipping you from behind to make sure that you achieve. So it's certainly not an unnatural feeling, I don't think,
No.
for anything like
Well,
that.
there's another one here for Kirk. So, on a different place, a different site, it's called How to Adult. Their number 4 on the list of bucket lists is to write a story.
Right. Okay.
And that would be.
So a
relevant
little
to
bit
you.
of a background there. Yes, but part of one thing that I've, for the past few years, that one of the things that I have said that I would like to do is write a book. And a fictional book, a storybook. And yeah, I've started one this year. So my plan is to have it finished by the end of this year.
How's it going?
It's going very well, thank you very much. Well, what it is, right, I've sent it out to some of my friends to read.
Yeah, not me.
Just to give me a bit of feedback.
I've read
you
it
know,
once,
halfway
and now
through.
you've changed it all.
Halfway through, I'm about halfway through.
I've told you, I've printed it off.
Yeah.
I don't read
People
books.
keep telling me how they've printed it off. They're going to read it. They're going to read it next week.
I'm not going to read it. I don't read books.
I
That's
do
me
think so.
sorted.
If I can't even get my best friends to read it, what chance have I got of strangers paying for it? But yes, more than anything, I'm enjoying the process. I'm really enjoying the process.
So, we've all said what as bucket list things are, but what actually prevents us from doing it? What do you think are the real reasons that people have these bucket lists, but probably kick the bucket and they've not done?
I think-
what they
There's
are
two
for them?
things in there.
Usually bucket list you put out there as something that's far-reaching, don't you? So it's like something that you can't just, you know, get it one morning and it's just there in front of you and you just do it, because otherwise, what's the point of it being so exotic? I suppose is the word I'd use, but and maybe there's that fear, really, of, you know, I think, well, fear possibly, and the other one, expense, because some bucket lists are very expensive, aren't they? I mean, you're talking about doing three of the, you know, the other Disney parks, the other end, you know, halfway around the
Exactly.
world.
Yeah.
It's going to be very expensive.
Well, this is the two main things is money and time. That, you know, if you've got money, you've got time. Well, generally, if you've got money, you're going to have time, and if you've got both of those things, then pretty much you can do anything on that bucket list.
But there can also be excuses.
Well, there is excuses for
that's
some of
where
them,
I'm
yes.
at. That's what I'm thinking. It's like, yeah, you can't afford it, but how? So if I said to you, Mark, so
Me,
it might be a
Yeah.
bad one to use at the minute because of the current situation and whatnot, but how much were you putting away each week to go to the next park that you've not yet done?
0.
Right. So you obviously had very little. You had very little intention of actually going.
Well, I don't put money away. That's not how I budget.
Okay.
No, but yeah, but that's basically. I understand what you're saying, Rob. That basically if something is important to you, you will find the opportunity. You'll find the way of doing it. You'll find and not let time be a factor. So if it's something of, do you know what? I am going to do this. I absolutely want to do this. And if it takes me 10 years to save up for it, then it takes me 10 years to save up for it.
Yeah. Because that's where I'm at with it all. I keep saying to myself, what bucket list now? The cruise one with the yacht. All right, we're talking. I dare say 100. Over 100,000. Yeah. So even if I started saving now, I ain't going to save it.
Mark will definitely keep the bucket.
Yeah, but when it comes to skydiving, what am I waiting for?
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Like I could, and it sits up there so much. Like if I got ill tomorrow, would I be gutted that I can't then skydive? Yes. Mm-hmm. So what are you waiting for, mate? Mm-hmm. Get it booked. And obviously I can't do the solo one, but I can do the tandem or whatever it's called. And yet I haven't put anything in place, and I can't be the only one.
Listen, we get in our own way. We get in our own way, and it's like anything, whether it comes to holidays, experiences, or whatever. Unless you book them, they don't happen.
No.
It's as simple as that. When we talk about the cruise that we went on before, or the holidays to Florida that we went on, or whatever, you can sit and mull it over all you want. We don't have lots of money in the bank. We can't just afford and pay for it. So therefore, you take the leap, you book it, and then you save it and you go for it. And that's the thing of a bucket list. It's about throwing it around too much that it becomes, oh yeah, that's on my bucket list. Yeah, but is it?
Yeah.
Is it on your bucket list, or is it just something you'd like to do, or you wouldn't mind doing? Is it on your bucket list?
Yeah.
So in other words, are you saying, I am going to do that before I kick the bucket?
Yeah.
Say yes to everything for a day.
So, have we all seen the film The Yes Man?
Yes.
Yes.
No,
or read the book.
I've read the book.
I don't read the books.
Jim Carrey, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's based on a book that was based on a true story
By Danny Wallace, weren't it?
By Danny Wallace, absolutely. So we all know that. So do you know the concept of the film or the book? Have you heard about it before, Mark?
I think I've heard of his film,
Yeah, The Yes Man.
but I've not watched it.
And that it is an interesting thought about what can it lead you to by being more open to ideas. But I think that's in general. That I think that sometimes we do become very closed off to ideas. It's too easy to say no.
Yeah.
Absolutely is.
Even just sometimes when you I don't know, someone could say, do you fancy going for a beer tonight? Or do you fancy going out? And you think, yeah. And then later on you start thinking, no, I can't be feeling bothered. No, I can't make it tonight. We make these lame excuses. I can't go. But if you had said yes, what would have happened? How much fun would you have had that night?
Nothing. I'm just going to say, if you say yeah, you just end up in pub having a beer, don't you?
Well,
yeah, but then it's what could
then what?
You just get drunk and go.
Yes, that's right, Mark, that's right. Yeah. It's what it opens up to, the possibilities. How do you know that you might not meet somebody in that pub at that point? Or
well, I hope not, because I didn't want to go to the pub in the first place. So I'm not that happy.
So Mark, Mark, you've got the opportunity to do a stand-up comedy show. What do you say?
What do I say? Drum roll. Yes.
Yeah.
He paused there.
That's it. You've said it now, mate. I'm going to hold you to it.
Yeah, I will.
Absolutely. 100%.
That was the biggest fear, was actually saying it out loud. I've said to people before that it's something I would like to do and get off my chest, get on stage, feel it, and then,
Yeah.
Well,
but the reality now that's presented.
Well, the cat's out of the bag now.
That is true. That really is true. And you know what? I think now I'm pretty much on the same wavelength as you, Mark. You just think...
But you never got stand-up comedy?
Yeah. That genuinely would be a disaster. I'd rather my parachute not open. I think I'm going to... I think I'm going to go on bucket,
Skydive?
Yeah.
Are you going to bucket it?
So we've got comedy show, we've got skydive, I'm writing my book.
Mark?
I'm going on holiday on a plane, first class.
You turning left?
Turning left.
Happy
Time
days.
at the bar, please.
And on that note, boys,
Yeah.
it's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
As always.
guys.
See you later.
See you next
See you
week.
next week.
See
Ta-ra,
ya.
boys.
Bye.
Do you have a dilemma? Maybe a burning question you're longing to be answered? Who are you going to call? Well, no one, but just drop us a voice note or a message over email at innthechat@gmail.com. That's 2 N's, not 1 N, because 1 N would... It doesn't matter. innthechat@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you.